好，开始了。Hi, today my topic is football is a dangerous sporting activity. Therefore, parents should discourage their children from playing football. Introduction. Attention getter. Imagine that the impact that results from the head collision of two cars at top speed. When such a collision occurs, the two cars wreck. At a median speed, the car wrecked but is not damaged. The bottom line here is that any impact resulting from a head collision will result in a car wreck, irrespective of the speed. That is the case with football since it's a contact game and involves a lot of tackling. Brief background to topic. According to the article, exactly how dangerous is football? On the website newyork.com, 1 February 2020, Infei Chen presents a study on a professional football, both active and retired. The study covered all aspects of health, and the result turned out that all of the professionals at one point had dementia, a condition that manifests itself in terms of memory loss. Audience relevance. Mental health is essential to an individual, especially the young generation. Having a sound mind and making sound decisions is vital in shaping a better society. But the conclusion that results from playing a football game greatly affect the brain, rendering individual incapable of making healthy choice. This is football game poses the greatest threat to mental health and in instance inflict an aggressive injury that has left many players with permanent physical handicaps. Preview of main point. In my speech today, I will first cover the mental and physical problems associated with the football game, then elaborate on the causes of these problems and suggest how to avoid them. Transition to MP1. I believe there are football fans with us here today. Therefore, I want us to agree before I proceed that every coin has two sides. In this case, I mean the bad and the good. We can enjoy football and at the expense of athletes' well-being, which is why I believe so. Main point 1. Subpoint A. Problem 1. According to the article on the website ncb.nih.government, review of neurosurgery, January 22, E.J. Pellman, J.W. Power et al. Reports that the calculation was taken on the average concussion per game. The result of the calculation was 0.41 concussions for every NFL football game. Quarterbacks have a high risk at 1.62. Then the receivers and the least affected are the tight ends. These repeated concussions, but players at risk of permanently damaging their brains. Subpoint B, problem 2. According to an article on inflijournalistics.com, 6 June 2017, Zash compared the injury rates in NFL with other Big Four games in America. From the analysis, Football is the game with the highest percentage of injury at 7.54%. This rate is almost five times the rate of injuries in other sporting activities. Transition to MP2. So far, we have discussed the rampant problems in football. Now, let us look at the case of disease problems. Main point 2. Subpoint A, cause 1. In the article on Vox.com 1 February 2020, Brian Rensnick illustrate the major cause of concussion in football. He says that football is a contact game. Players do collide often. The impact resulting from aggressive tackles is usually high, leading to head injuries. This type of injury is like to cause the concussion of dementia. When it occurs repeatedly, the head collisions is a threat to mental health. If not properly damaged, it can lead to memory loss and other mental disorders. Subpoint B, cause 2. According to another article on bleacherreport.com, 14 December 2017, Dan Pompey highlights how the football coaches and management secretly manipulated injury data. The failed to disclose the injury concern in their teams and the go ahead to fill the injury players in the team. The dishonest and unethical act puts most players at risk of getting aggravated injury and can cut short their playing career. Transition to MP3. At this point, allow me to mention some of the measures that should be taken to avoid such major injuries. Main point 3. Solution. Subpoint A, solution 1. My first solution goes to the parents. You have seen the static, the most retired of football players struggle with mental health. The best way to make sure that your kid do not experience this ordeal is by discourage them from playing football. Other games are much safer than football. You can encourage your kid to be interested in such games. Subpoint B, solution 2. For the active players who have experienced a concussion, the no return to play policy should be strictly executed to ensure that such a player retires permanently from active football. The strategy will significantly help to prevent severe brain injury. The club managers and coaches found guilty of fielding and injury players should be stripped of their coaching badge. The entire club should be disbanded, thus reducing the number of football players and number of recruits. This will, in turn, reduce the number of head injury cases. Transition to the conclusion. Due to the short time remaining, let me jump to the close. Conclusion. A review thesis. From the point I mentioned, you can see clearly that football game is indeed a great threat to mental health. Many players have been mentally incapacitated due to severe head injury inflicted during the game. Review main points. I talked about the rampant injury associated with a football game. They mentioned the reasons that have accelerated the high number of injury witnessed, and finally gave some suggestions that might help prevent such situations from occurring. Memorable closer. I believe I have given you a compelling reason to discourage your kid from football activity. I hope that you will make this tough but necessary measure to protect the kid from the mental health struggles caused by this sport. Thank you. Bye.